Ladies and gentlemen, PAX has ended, and we've heard so many things, like there's going to be female clowns. There will be, the invisible clown car in the game, somehow, some way. And we've gotten little blurbs and hints and some surprises that show that Clowns is going to be a little bit more than what we think it's going to be or than what it is. And this gives me a little bit of hope for the game, honestly. So when it comes to the clown car that was mentioned, maybe it's only going to be used by a certain clown, or it is going to be used only on certain maps. So maybe there will be a case of certain things will happen only on certain maps. If that's the case, then that's great news. That means that the maps will have character. Each map will have a life of its own because you'll be able to do different things on it. That kind of is only a theory. We all have been making theories. The Discord on Killer Klowns was crazy over the weekend of people getting worried, speculating, theorizing, and that's all good. Everybody's talking about the game. We're all passionate about the game. Again, everybody wants this game to be really good and have a long lifespan, not a 3-week lifespan, and then you put it down again. Now, that said, one thing I really loved that I saw were the mini games for when you die as a survivor, and I don't know if you do mini games as a clown, but when you die, you do these mini games as a survivor to help the survivors that are left on the map to basically get through certain situations. I'm not sure how it all works, but they did comment that there have been some really clutch moments of a final survivor escaping, because the other dead survivors were providing help to the leftover players. And I can't wait to see how that all works. The only thing I'm worried about with that is players die and they're like, screw all the other randos, I'm out of here. And they don't want to help them out with the mini games. That could be a thing. I can't wait to see how that all works. And, these things are good. That helps mix the game up a little bit. From what we've seen at PAX, the game looks to mix silly, fun, casual gameplay, but also has the potential to be very competitive. Now, I hope Illfonic leans into both of those things. As players get used to the maps, there's going to be map knowledge. People are going to find metas. They're going to find things that they can do to help them get through a match. That's just how it is. It's the nature of a video game. It's a game. When people play games, they get competitive. It's just how it is, even if it's meant to be fun and silly. Texas Chainsaw tried to lean away from all of that, but it's, it is what it is. There's people speed running on that game, and the perks are just a mess, and it's just, the lobbies used to be a mess. I heard that they're fixed up now, which is great. I probably will go back on the 28th to see how Texas Chainsaw is, if it's been fixed up to where it can be enjoyed and not frustrating. And then one thing I just can't wrap my head around is when Wes made the comment about Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't want to be competitive, we want to be a fun casual game, but then they have this huge perk system in their game. And when you have a perk system like that, that fosters and feeds into competitivity. They are competitive perks. They are made to help you get an edge in a match. That promotes competitivity. It's very contradictory. I like the speech he made, but it's like the game is not reflecting that, But they got a huge update coming out on March 28th, a new map. I'll go back, give it a chance, see how it is. That said, the gameplay for Clowns is looking fun. I do love the tone and look of the game from what we've been hearing from people. And it looks like it's on the right track, and it probably will be when it first comes out. It's going to be on a good track. I just really want Illfonic to maintain it and to grow it. And not just through content releases either. While content is good, you got to look at the other end. When people start to get their map knowledge and their metas out there, because it will happen. Illfonic needs to kind of lean into that and make some adjustments here and there. Keep people on their toes. Change some stuff around on the map. Throw in a curveball that we weren't expecting. Don't tell anybody about it. It's just something that changes the way the gameplay is. If it's a major gameplay change, obviously they have to tell people about it. But do things to kind of Keep the game interesting so people don't want to leave. If they do that and people aren't getting complacent, that's the key word right there, is complacency. If the players aren't becoming complacent with the game, they will keep the players that have been playing for a long time that may be starting to feel the burnout, but plus attract new players. And that's what, DBD's doing that all the time. When they release Killers and Survivors, they release all these new perks and all this stuff. They change maps, they overhaul maps, change around their design from time to time. They have events, and they just have things to keep people from getting too complacent. I'd say they're pretty good about doing this about every 3 to 4 weeks or so. Now, of course, Illfonic doesn't have as big of a team as DBD does, because DBD has made a lot of money over the years. They have grown their team. If Illfonic can grow their team and get people in the studio that can kind of keep these things going, like steadily, then the game will grow. And DBD makes these changes regardless of whether people hate it or people like it. There's always the yelling and screaming of both sides, killers, survivors, people hating this and loving that. And that's always going to be a thing. But one thing is maintained: the population of the game is always growing. They make these slight changes to the game or add to it, and it keeps people in the game because they want to see how it's played. You have to come up with a new meta. When the devs see a meta becoming too strong, they nip it. They get on that and they change something, or they make an addition to the game. They make a gameplay addition that breaks it all up, and now people have to work harder to get that meta back, or sometimes they never get it back at all. And if Killer Klowns does this, I think it'll be in a good place. And there's not that much more I wanted to say on it, you guys. We're only a couple of months out. We'll have hands-on soon, and we'll be able to see just how this game feels, how it comes across, does it resonate, and hopefully Illfonic really nurses it, changes stuff, keep people on their toes, put surprises in the game that they don't tell people about, and all that good stuff. I'd love to see it. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.